Hi guys, Andy at Air Rifle Sniper, ARS Air Guns. Today I'm going to do a breakdown and just show you where to point you in the right direction for tuning on the Reximex Myth. Obviously a lot of people are put off by these, the same as a Krylon PO2 because of the double air chamber setup. It's nothing to be feared of, it's just being a little bit cautious of a couple of delicate items on the rifle, but very simple, stripped down. So without further ado, we'll crack on. First things first, in the lower section just in front of the trigger guard there, here's your 5mm Allen key to remove the stock. Once you've loosened that, press in the safety. Hold it from the opposite side with the flat bladed screw head in and unscrew the head. And then just push it back through and this will come out. Drop your stock off, which leaves us with that setup. That's basically your link pipe from your rear air bottle block, link pipe through to the feed chamber of the air tube, which then goes into the firing valve, out the firing valve, up the transfer port, down the barrel. So you want a 10mm spanner. This has already been pre-drained of air, but basically loosen off that 10mm pipe and you'll hear the air start gushing out of it when yours is obviously full. I tend to try and not use the gauge to do it because it just excess pressure on the gauges makes them go tits up. Basically, you don't want to cause an issue, you don't need to. So basically, loosen off your copper pipe, don't take it out until your gauge reads 0. Cock your rifle, dry fire it a couple of times to make sure it's totally depleted of air before you even consider taking that pipe out. But once you've done that, do that, hold the body of the rifle and get a good grip of the bottle, so you're holding the block and the back half of the bottle, and give it a good hard grip and twist, which will allow you to remove your bottle. Like so. There is an O-ring. I tend to like to try and leave it on the block, that way you know exactly where it is. Let's drill this in a little bit here. Like so. Now, basically what we want to do is, in the back of the block here, you will see those two. Yours will be black, it's just that I've changed these for hardened stainless steel ones because I don't like the ones that are in them. They're quite soft metal, so you basically undo those, which will allow you to drop that bottle block off out the way, which then leaves you the front section, barrel, block and air tube. Now, as with any new rifle, if you've not had it apart yourselves before, you're going to find an anti-tamper in the front of the barrel clap bolt there. If you flip it over, there'll be one in the back here which secures the hammer spring block, and the very front one of the air tube locking bolts is an anti-tamper. As I've said before, pilot hold them, either a left-handed drill or a small Torx bit, tap it into the hole and wind them out. It's not rocket science, just go gentle, you won't cause any damage. So that's that. And basically what we want to do is, let's get it right there, loosen off those two grub screws, on there, on there. On the front of the rifle, if you've got an air stripper on it or a silencer, remove it. Filler port dust cover, remove it, and then you'll see a grub screw on there and a grub screw on there. We need to loosen those. They are small, so don't wind them out too far and drop them, because you're very unlikely to find them again. Once they're loose, hold like so, a little bit of pressure on the back, on the barrel side, one on the air tube side, and just slide that barrel clamp off, which then leaves it like so. Again, hold the main block, hold the air tube, a gentle turn back and forth, and slide it forward at the same time. Pulls out your air tube. Now, tuning wise, as with most, it's to do with the ports. So you'll look at the main firing valve port and it'll be quite small. So 4.2, 4.5 mil is a maximum. Ideally 4.2, because you start getting into interfering with this front O-ring if you start going any bigger than that, really. So basically 4.2 mil is your max. To do that, you well, let's stick it in here, we can show you. Let's just lock that off in there. And let's get you there. For this you're going to need either good strong grip, which you want to unwind the end cap from the tube itself. So basically a good hard grip. And there you go. Now again, from factory, that hole there is going to be very small. As you can see, it's been opened out to 5 mil. Lets the air from the air chamber get into the firing valve, and a lot more crisper punch when you punch the actual air. When that valve opens, the pressure of air is there. Bang. Swift. Nice, sharp, smooth, crisp punch of air. So that will, when you come to do that, you can see the slot in it. Nice big flat-headed screwdriver. That'll wind out, allowing you just that end cap there, winds out of there, so you can drill it, deburr it, take any swarf away rather than it dropping all inside there. When it's all clean again, you can put it back in. And to get your main firing valve out, lock your end cap in a vise, and on the very end there's two flat faces which will be a 13mm spanner. So you can then wind out the valve itself. Keep some tension on it because there is a spring inside there. So that's what you'll see when you unwind it. Push on the end, keep hold of the spring, and then just get yourself an implement that's smaller than that valve and just push on it till it comes free. Lower it away. There's your valve inside, and that's the body. So now that that's empty, it allows you to open that port up, deburr the face of it once you're done, and again just make sure there's no burrs or swarf inside, so thoroughly clean it before you reassemble it. Same as always, advise when you do this, either a smear of silicone oil or a little smear of silicone grease on the O-rings. This has only just been put back together, hence I'm just doing a loose strip down so you can see. Slide the valve back in, locate it in the centre of there, a little bit of pressure, and just wind it. Screw it in. Now you'll notice the two little divots in that firing valve end cap. There's a little white line. These are alignment marks. So you'll see the alignment mark there, and this one has got an alignment mark on as well. So when you get it all in place, those two lines have to line up. So let's put it back in there. So it should be there, you don't have to go silly with it. And then as you see, that point and that point line up. That's ready to go back in the rifle. Well, it's ready to go back into the air tube, should I say, sorry. And again, same principle. Smear the O-rings, just the eases with reassembly, and away you go. Just wind it back in. Don't need anything tighter than by hand with this, so just make sure these two faces meet. Give it a little pinch. That's the air tube reassembled, ported, ready to go. On the Reximex Myth, the transfer port adjuster is already running the right size diameter. The transfer port through the block is okay. You don't need to open that up. It's already running adequate size diameter. The barrel, again, you can open it up slightly if you wish, but to be totally honest, the port in the barrel is running a 4mm already, so you don't really, on 177, you don't really want to be opening it up any more than that for safety's sake. And it still gives a little bit of resistance on the air, and you're balancing from the firing valve port right the way through. The port sizes are balanced then to give you a good high power gain. And that's basically all there is to the Reximex myth. So what we'll do is we'll spin this back over there, and the two divots in the air tube line up with the bottom of the rifle. Again, just a gentle side to side movement, and that locks in. And then gently wind down the locking bolts, the locking grub screws for the air tube, and just bring them down until you can just feel that those grub screws are in the right place, so it locks it in place. Give it a little twist just to lock them in firm. That way you know that it is located in the right place. Because you can put these in the wrong place. You think it's in place and it's not, so by doing that you know that it's actually located in the right place. That should be centre of this. Again, if you are in doubt, the alternative method is to let's grab one from over here. On disassembly, get yourself a pencil mark, put a pencil mark there and a pencil mark there. You know that that is where it's got to be put back together. What we do is put the barrel clamp, slide it onto the barrel first, gently manoeuvring it down until we get to the air tube. Slide it over the air tube O-ring till it meets its face, tight on the end, and then we can nip up the grub screws that we undid on the barrel clamp earlier. Again, they don't need to be wrenched up extremely tight, because all you're going to do is you're going to rip the threads out of it and cause yourself problems. Just to service and a little pinch, that's all you need. End cap on, air stripper on. That's that section done. Then again, flip it over, lay your copper link pipe back in, screw your link pipe in so you start getting that threaded in first before you screw the block on the back. Get your copper link pipe started on the threads first. Then lay the rifle in your hand like so. And if you look down through the gap, you'll see the threads for the two end pieces, the two end support bolts for the bottle fitting. And then just nip those up Again, don't go stupid tight because you'll just strip the threads out of the block. They don't need to be wrenched up tight, they just need to be nipped. There we have that. The same with this on the link pipe. Don't wrench it up tight, just make sure it's had a little nip. Job done. Then we can get the air tank bottle at the back and we can wind that back on. And once your bottle's on, back in your stock, don't forget to refit your safety. And there you go. That's about it really. Pretty straightforward. But like I say, you know, you're gonna get a fairly substantial power increase by opening those ports on that. So obviously the Myth doesn't, unlike the Corral MPO2 setup, the Myth unfortunately doesn't have a hammer spring adjuster. You can machine the end cap and put an adjusting bolt in there, or again you can go over for a heavier spring. But in all fairness, by just opening up the port's going to give you a substantial increase in itself. So that's as easy as it is to dismantle the Myth. Again, if you want to drop the barrel out, all you've got is the 1-2 fixings on the top, and just gently forward the barrel. That comes out. There you go. Happy days. Hope you enjoyed that. As I always say, you know, if you like the videos, you want to see more, please show your support. Subscribe. I'm also on Facebook, ARS Airguns. Look us up, follow. And if you want to show your appreciation, go to the link on my main page and buy me a coffee. Thanks so much guys, take care, bye.